Let me just say this. I really dislike status meetings. One of the worst that I ever had was when I was working for IBM Cloud in Dallas. And we were giving an update regarding an expansion that we were making in Toronto, Canada. Um, and it involved installing fiber. And by fiber, I mean fiber optic cable, digging trenches, putting it into the ground, and burying the fiber, going into and out of the data center where we were expanding into. And I'll never forget how I'm on the call, and most of us are remote. So myself and my colleague are in a small conference room, and we're discussing how the planning and all the construction involved was going on. And this is near the middle of the summer, and Canadian winters set in a lot faster than winters in the United States, at least in the southern section of the United States where I live. So subsequently, my colleague and I, but me specifically, were raising the concern that there was a risk that the ground was going to freeze before we actually had the fiber optic cables in the ground. And we're working with a contractor, one of the service providers up there. Somebody, a well meaning executive who evidently had some stake in this conversation, was actually called me out in front of my general manager and said, "You're dead wrong. How do you know that the ground is going to freeze and that we're not going to be able to deliver this capacity in the way that it was engineered and blah, 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 blah?" I'm like, wow. So this was one of those rare moments where I had to keep my mouth shut, hold my composure, and not say a word. Because my colleague and I, and a number of other people who were also on that call, we knew better. We were running against Mother Nature and the clock. And sometimes, as a leader, you just have to keep your mouth shut and let the facts do the talking for you. Sometimes it doesn't even require a response. Silence becomes your ally, because once the facts are on the table, the people who need to know can make better choices.